All right. There we go. Let's check it out. Do we got audio? Yeah, it looks all right. So here we go. Yesterday, it snowed for the first time since the big train wreck in Ohio released that nasty cloud out. Now, there were some models that were projecting it was going to head up north a little bit. It's going to spread out in a variety of ways. We have a jet stream that's obvious. Just plain common sense. I mean, you got a big cloud of chemicals, it's going to move around. So, I was watching, I saw some reports, one out of Ontario from an undisclosed location from what I could find. They were showing pretty much an oil slick all over the road, and I mean, that in itself, not necessarily the biggest deal. I mean, if you got one guy driving around with a leaky gas tank, by the time the snow melts, if he's driven around the neighborhood a few times, you're going to see it. So I can't really say one way or another with that, but it's something of concern that we do need to pay attention to at the very least. The other concerning thing was from upstate New York. We had people posting a video where they were smelling the snow, and it smelled almost like dryer sheets. So because that's so close, I tried to do the same thing and recreate that smell. Uh, I breathed deep into the snow, and I mean, there was a faint dryer sheet smell, but it being so faint, again, I mean, it could be just, your mind playing tricks on you, trying to find something. It's totally reasonable. So I took a big pile of snow in. Let's play the videos here. You can see I put it on a plate. It's warmed it just very lightly, warmed it on the stove, just to help it along melting down. And I saved up a good chunk of water. This was when I had just put the plate outside just as I saw the snow starting, because I figured we need as close to a control test as we can. I don't know if other people have. Seems these clips are a little out of order, but that's all right. I'm going to show you this one here. I boiled down all the water I collected. Should have been near the end, but whatever. You can kind of barely just see here. It's a little bit yellowed. That's the last drop out of a pot of boiling water, though, so again, yellow water from the snow. It could be just a bit of dirt in the air. Could be normal contaminants. Nothing really to worry about on its own there either. But now if I keep playing through, take a look. I did a few different tests. There's the vinegar test. I didn't get any reaction from that. Now here's the real concerning part. I'm just gonna go ahead and just pull back to that. I boiled the water down. I had it filled probably about to there in the pot, 3/4 of the way. It's right about up to that level. So I did boil down a good chunk of water. Put a little bit in some aluminum foil there just to see if there was any reaction on that. No reaction on that either. Nothing too crazy when I applied the water directly to the hot surface. Didn't leave any major noticeable residue with that little amount. Let's see here. Takes a little bit, but it's boiling down. It's not anything that we haven't seen. There are a few bubbles on the plate. I tried lighting the bubbles on fire. They were pretty small bubbles, so if they did have any flammable gas, I don't know if I would have seen it by lighting a flame just on top of a couple floating, maybe 2 mm wide bubbles. But that was worth a shot. Here I tried melting the snow for a little while. Then just to see if any gas built up, perhaps. I took this bowl, coated it. It had a nice water seal on it. Lifted up the bowl. After a little bit of struggle trying to break the water seal. And no big explosion or anything crazy. So it didn't produce a whole lot of gas. There was a bit of a smell to it, but nothing that I could discern from these at-home tests here. Let's see, there's the plate. Now I'm going to pull it back to a couple of different things. Number one here is a flame I held over top of the steam. Now, I've never gone out of my way to hold a flame over top of steam before, so like I said, I don't really have a control to compare this with, but there were just kind of small spark, spark-like plumes flying off of the flame. Is that something? I don't know. This is something that scientists need to look at. All I got is my common sense. So I don't know if that's it combusting little bits in the steam, or if that's just normal airflow around my Bic lighter. I guess we'll find out. But this is the real concerning part. Oh, and also, mind you, I did get a little bit of bird seed off the table with it, so that could easily explain a little bit of the discoloring as well. But here's the real concerning part. And it took a lot, so it's the small parts per million. And I'm going to be completely fair. It could be soap scum. For all I know, it could be a little bit of soap scum built up. But this here, I'm going to try to zoom in on this video a little bit. Let's see if we can make that pot massive. Alright, I think that's about as big as I'm probably going to get it. You can see I poured it out. And it left this coat. This little coat along the drip line. Like I said, it could be soap scum, but the weird thing is I ran my finger across it. It's got a very rubbery feeling. Kind of reminds me of like liquid latex from an old, your old Halloween cosmetic setup. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's anybody that can test and find out what that is. I don't even know, honestly, what I'd have to do to test to find out what exactly that is. I've done pool service. That means that I can go out and test the chlorination in the water. I know how to do that. But finding out what substance this is, that's a job for our health departments. It's a job for environmental departments. So I'm just presenting these questions, using some common sense and at-home tests. I'll keep up on these hopefully, and we'll take a look after the snow if it snows again today to see if there's any increase. I'm going to try to maybe make it a little bit more scientific than just at home, random amounts of snow in a pot. And hopefully this will take off and other people will, just take advantage of somebody at home looking into it, presenting the questions so that way they can take it to a facility that they work at, they're accredited with, whatever the case is, and start performing some actual tests. Because if the Ohio cloud is moving north, it's not good news. It's not good news at all. It's going to seep into our land. I mean, on southern Ontario especially is some of the best agricultural land. Ohio as well. So what does this mean for our food? What does this mean for the animals up here? We already see all these frogs dying, fish dying. I saw a video of a very nice old lady saying she hasn't seen any birds around, and I know that my grandparents, they loved sitting out back watching the birds. So does that mean we're not going to have any birds anymore? Was seeing the ducks and the swans down at the lake the other day, the last time that I'm going to be able to around here. I don't know. Common sense says that we need to be concerned, at the very least. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully somebody takes from this. Hopefully you guys try your own things at home. We can all do a little bit to just try and monitor what's going on at the very least. And let's just make sure we stay followed up to stop the spread of the Ohio cloud. Right on, guys. That's Common Sense Freedom. First live stream. And hopefully not the last with the chemicals that we got falling out of the sky here now.